Oh, how this shit worketh. Come on, man. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do a lot of resting and healing. I ain't even gonna lie. Someone's pulling my consciousness out there. Yep. And if you raise your awareness in the woods, shit happens. I'm getting kind of scared. I ain't gonna lie. It's having to throw out all of the sea monster ego game personalities. It's not raining. I don't know what these noises are. There's just shit happening, man. I don't want to draw attention to myself. Okay, there was a dark pressure that just moved over and then something pushed it away. And then the crickets started to fill up the space and then it moved behind me. And then I saw two eyes right there. Come on, bitch. I haven't been out in the woods in a long time, so I'm reconnecting back to the forest, and there's some creepy shit happening. So I ended the last live stream, and I'm on this one, and I'm just gonna keep raising my awareness and seeing what happens. And I'm just gonna talk about what I experience. Right now, there's beams of light information coming out from the woods and hitting my third eye, and it's trying to get in to communicate something to me, but I've really gummed up my shit with vapes, so it's just kind of bouncing off. But there's also this dark pressure on my left side that keeps trying to reattach to me, but the forest isn't letting it, and the crickets are getting louder, trying to push away what probably is some type of addiction with this. So I'll see if it gets worse when I vape. They're inviting me to operate at a higher level. They're saying they can't fully reach me because I'm covered by a tarp and a gazebo. They encourage me to go outside so that they can fly above me. But they also say that I need a lot of rest and that I've been letting my inner child die. And the most important thing is having an inner child and still being your inner self where you were at birth and what you've grown into. If you abandon yourself, you have to regress and back into who you once were. Now the loud noises are picking up down there. Somebody's just revving a car down there. There's a lot of movement behind me. I'm painfully aware that I'm being observed because I can see myself in the third person from something else's eyes. I want you guys behind me, being able to see behind me for whatever that is out there. Okay. Stark Industries. Stark? It's reminding me of Game of Thrones. Yep, there's something out there. it showed me something I've never seen before, and it said you're not ready for this. The noises are getting louder. A beam of light said, "Don't do it. Don't do it." That was a sleep paralysis demon that I saw. On my left side, it said conscious incarnate of the forest. It's playing music in my head. But it's not them, it's the higher beings. I'm seeing a rabbit. Oh, loud noise. It's probably a rabbit. Oh, oh fuck. Oh god. They're closing in. When they The forest is full of predators, supposedly. When they start making these loud noises, it's about pushing in my conscious bubble. Yeah, I'm like maybe a half mile to the road. I'm up on top of a mountain. And I used to live out in the woods full time, but there was just too many bugs, so today I got a gazebo. So I'm going back out to regain awareness of the woods and connection to the forest like I used to. And I'm seeing, now that I have safety and I'm not just ignoring all the shit that I see, I am seeing a lot worse things than I usually did because I was too afraid to back then. And it was literally telling me not to. And then I stayed, and then the noises are getting louder and closer. I specifically saw 3 different beings. Like there's something that I think M stands for money calls them the higher authorities. You hear that? When I said the higher authorities and I was looking over here, I saw a gray. And now there's some noise happening over there. Is Disclosure Day lying that you guys are actually benevolent? Shoot it. I'm legally not allowed to own a firearm. because my mom has schizophrenia and thought I was trying to kill her with a grenade, and then she lied to the cops about it. And I said, if you're gonna try to get people to hurt me for shit you make up, it's gonna make me want to hurt you. So then she filed a restraining order, and then she messaged me every day. And then when I would respond to her messages, I now have a felony. So I'm officially a convicted felon. So I can't have a firearm in my state. How close have you seen them before? Um, Next to me, touching my head, in the middle of the woods, deep in Vermont mountains. At night, it was a praying mantis that was right outside the tent, and it was when it zapped my body, my arms went up like this, like the praying mantis hands. I've woken up and seen that there was a gray floating in spirit next to my head, and it was a tall gray, and it had no emotion, and it had like this darkness with it. And then I was tried to ignore it, and I went on my phone, and then a small gray appeared in front of between me and the phone, and it showed me that when I argue with people on the internet, it helps me come up with things to say. And then they got scared and disappeared, and then a giant dragon head came out of the ether and looked at me really angry. It was red and black. It looked like a T-Rex head. I'm hearing draconian. It just didn't like me. It was pretty mad. And then they all, I think the bird showed up on my left side and then started chirping. And when it chirped, it dispelled the frequency so that they couldn't travel through the frequency to attach to me. I've also seen like a 10-foot tall praying mantis like 10 feet out in another place. And it started telepathically speaking to me. It reflected my own voice back at me to show when I look out, I'm like, what are you? And then it hit me back with the same thing. So I learned how to shoot, how to project my energy. And I was accidentally doing it, and it didn't like that. And then a dark spirit that was human walked behind it to the window, and it explained to me telepathically that it built that property, that abandoned sugaring shack. He built it, and he spent too much time chasing work and trying to build a life for himself that he didn't spend any time with his family. So he told me, please don't end up like me and just be here until you kill yourself like I did. I guess he had hung himself. He said to go back and spend more time with people you love. Don't just lay out here. But I don't have anybody I don't have any loved ones, so there's no one to go back to. Your imagination is fascinating. It's not my imagination. I pay attention to changes, and I've over time learned after 12 years of this and growing up in complete isolation, producing extra DMT alone with a room full of Legos on top of a mountain in an abandoned ski resort by myself, with just my dad who would build Legos with me and make jokes, but we barely spoke other than that, and then a black lab, and then I would just walk around by myself, and then I was in Section 8, sleeping in a refrigerator box, and then I would have another room full of Legos I would just build by myself. I've just always been talking to these things my entire life. I know, like, I'm able to tell sometimes. It's more like it's shown to me. And then I've learned to be able to communicate with them through tarot videos. Like they give me messages pretty much every day, where they throw out the 33 and the Hierophant and Temperance and the Star, and then they'll say like I hear Cassie or Casey or KC, and then they just explain to me some like really autistic high level spiritual stuff that nobody would understand, that only I would understand because it's my consciousness, and they're like fine tuning it and helping me gain a higher awareness and understanding and connection to like a higher dimension so that I can be the bridge and gateway between man and nature and man and whatever's out there, whatever this great beyond full of orange white light is, which I'm assuming is Christ consciousness in 33, because orange in gematria is 33 and capital G is 33, which is why Gatorade is orange with a capital G. Can you pray for me? Sure. Right now I have a lot of really angry Christians that think that they don't want this property for any benevolent reason. They want it for power and status and to use. So I want to turn it into a sanctuary and a place where there's a bunch of stone pathways into just stone squares where people can lay and have the option to bring a mosquito net with them, so that they can just lay there and do what I'm doing right now, which is just communicating in spirit, free from social conditioning. Can you say that again about the color orange? Orange is, if A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, the word orange adds up to 33. And if Z is 26, or however many letters are in the alphabet, I'm pretty sure it's 26, right? And then let's say capital A would be 27, then capital G is 33. Whatever the number is, capital G ends up being 33, which is why Freemasons have the capital G there. That's why Jesus died at 33 years old. That's why Muslims count to Inshallah 33 times with their beads. And supposedly it's a 33 life path because God meets us where we're at. It's just the proof of God's existence, right? He made me a 33 life path, born in the 11th. Sagittarius in the 8th house, Aquarius in the 10th house, Taurus rising. And my name means the incorruptible tree of life, that no matter how many times you cut it down in the worst part of the human condition, it always grows back pure and innocent as a divine child. And I think that that's why I laugh like a baby when I'm not paying attention. I just laugh like a baby. I don't hear anybody else laughing like a baby. And I'm supposed to be the divine child. I'm supposed to be the oldest soul possible in the youngest, like the dichotomy, the divine child with the oldest wisdom. God has favorites, is what I'm hearing, and then God is a creator, and this system of creation has themes and patterns for us to recognize to gain a higher level of awareness should we choose. And I can figure that out for you guys. I do life path readings where I know Bazi and astrology and numerology, and I've known when I do it, I see things about people. So I'm trying to do it out in the woods tonight, but I'm seeing it. There was just a bright flashing light over there. I hope that's a firefly. Right now we're in a really stale energy on the planet. The sun is beaming down, but it's fizzled through or funneled through Capricorn with Saturn and the 1 energy and the 10 energy. And we're also in the fire horse. And those are just placeholders for the actual thing. Well, I'm talking about the common denominator between all those, about the real truth, about the system of creation that we're inside. Um, the energy is just really high, stale, and dealing with power games and certainty and authority bullshit, ego games. And then in that, there's karmic returns. But that makes it so people like me that have really like mutable, changing energy find it pretty hard to navigate. If I do it like this, I don't want to turn my back. But yeah, if you post your birthdays, I'll do readings. Right now, something is healing me. So there's like an added freshness that's coming in that's dispelling all the bad, toxic garbage that I was stuck inside. It's making me real again. The forest is conscious. Who did you learn under? I've been traveling by myself since I was 9. And they said my only diagnosis is they could give me one with savant syndrome. But now that I'm older, they said that they would probably give me CPTSD after what I've been through. But I'm not schizophrenic. They tell me I'm a genius because I went to therapy and I told him about the crows and he was like he didn't believe me, and then I did it, and then a crow flew up to the window and started screaming, and then I showed him how I can channel the ancestors to hit him with a high vibrational thing, and then the crow went ah, and then it flew away. So he was like, I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm an Orthodox Christian. He was an Orthodox Christian, so he believed it. He was like, you're not schizophrenic. You just, you know. Would your childhood self be proud of you or devastated this is what you grew into? Let's think about it. What did I want? When I remember living on Frost Street in Brattleboro. I don't know how old I was. I think I might have been going into 4th grade. And I used to sleep with this trading card of an anime girl from like a TV show back then. And I just thought she was really pretty. So I would pretend she was my girlfriend and I would keep her on my chest here, and I would think one day I'm gonna find love. And then or I'm gonna have friends and shit. And then when I was 14 I had my first crush. First real crush. I had had a couple girlfriends by then, like 5th grade and 6th grade. I had girlfriends, like kissed a girl in 7th grade, had a girlfriend in 7th grade, kissed a couple girls in 8th grade, but then 9th grade I met this one girl and I really liked her, but she was a year older and she was dating a 17-year-old when I was 14. And she's told me later that she thought I was attractive, but I don't know, people were weird and they were homeschooled and I was also weird, but she was great, man. Kind of judgmental, but she was raised by Christians, so um then all I really wanted was to kiss her. And then the family moved away and I dropped out of school to buy my family a house, and then DCF took me in, and then all I really wanted was to go home. But then after it had been like 8 months of me being in the institutions, and they would lock us in a room the size of a broom closet, and they only fed us bread, and we were only allowed outside the room like 15 minutes a day, and they were just farming us for money, and they would take our blood every day even though we weren't on medication. So I think they were selling our blood, and it just happens. Sucks. My mom got much worse when she was in programs as a kid, and that was probably in the 80s, or 70s. Maybe she's born in 67, 67. But that's when I wanted to make art. I just wanted to make art, and I wanted to date beautiful women. So when I got out of the institutions, I put myself out there. I got buff and picked up the guitar again because I would play. I played piano as a kid. I started playing guitar when I was 14, and I would play guitar sometimes when I could get. Sometimes the nice staff would be there and they would let us out of the room, and then they had a guitar we were supposed to be able to use. So sometimes I would be able to do that, and sometimes we'd get 15 minutes a day to watch movies, and I'd watch Guardians of the Galaxy for 15 minutes, or I'd watch Star Wars: The Force Awakens because that's the only movies we had, and I just wanted to date girls. Then when I got out of I had dug a hole through the wall and traded underwear with a girl, and we would kiss when the staff weren't looking if we would be able to. Sometimes they would take us to the school to go to group. So then when the staff weren't looking, I would like sneak a kiss, or like we'd touch each other when they weren't looking. But when I got out, I dated the best looking girl in school because she had just graduated. She was really attractive, like thick, just all around amazing, but she was mentally fucked up. Probably because we live in small town, and there were the back then YouTubers were like David Dobrik hadn't even popped off. There was no YouTubers, like there was nothing for people to watch except like Jenna Marbles, and like, so who knows what the girl algorithm was like back in the day. But she was just she was kind of messed up. Um, it was she said like if her friends saw me talking to another girl, she'd go cheat on me with her ex. And she like on my birthday we went to watch X-Men, but Mystique is naked in X-Men, so she wouldn't let me watch it. So on my birthday we sat in the other room while my family watched. But she was really attractive, like real like ten like there's no celebrity I think that's better looking than how she looked. The relationships, which that was my first time, my first love. Then I really wanted this one girl, and she had mental issues too, but she became the best looking girl in town after the other girl that I dated kind of fell off. Then this other girl was definitely the most attractive girl in town, and I really wanted her, but she just had so many suitors. Like I got her a job at Price Chopper, and it was just the entire line. All the other registers are empty, and all the guys, when she was 15, I was 16, fucking ages 13 to 80, lining up, hitting on her. So I got to her head, and she lived in like a bunch. She was really intelligent, saw the beauty in life. We both had came from pain and trauma, so we understood each other. But she was just too far into that, and I just don't think she was a very good person at the end of the day. So we'd date, it would be amazing, and then she'd leave and go off with somebody else. I mean, like we'd hang out for 3 days, and then she'd be gone, and then 3 days later, I see her on another love story with another guy, and I don't know if they're hooking up because we weren't hooking up. I don't think she was because I think she was traumatized as a kid. I don't think she was a hoe. I think she wanted to be, but she couldn't. Uh, and then I dated a girl because I was mad at her. that I wasn't good enough, and I wasn't good enough to get out of DCF. I wasn't good enough to have a mom, and I wasn't good enough for the family that I grew up with to actually take me in. So I just wanted to outperform everybody. That was my dream in life. Is just I wanted to outperform everybody, be better than all of them, so that they would have to realize that it was a bad thing that they did to me. So I would say 17-year-old Casey would be convinced that he was going to be very, very wealthy and traveling around, sleeping with tons of girls, and having fun all day, going on adventures. So if I told 17-year-old Casey, you're eventually going to date that girl that you really like, but it's going to be after you have relationships with six other girls and you cheat on them all with each other, and you chase the high of feeling like you chase the safety of being a good fuck. So you give all these girls amazing memories and amazing dates and all this so that you can feel like you deserve to exist. And then you run off to go on your adventure again, but then the things you are running from eventually come back. That feeling of no permanence, and that everyone you love leaves, and that you if you can't stay in that momentum, you're just confronted with your PTSD. And then you eventually do go to college. You go off and your car breaks down in Maine, and you live with a multimillionaire, and he puts you through college. And then you go to Ohio, and the YouTuber that you used to watch that helped you learn social skills and self-improvement when you were 14 and a chubby autistic weirdo, his nephew becomes your roommate in college, and you finally find somebody that you feel like is your best friend. You finally find a best friend, but then you have this awakening where aliens reveal themselves to you, and they explain to you that all the suburban kids across the country are about to get hooked on a drug that destroys their mind, and then a dark force is going to take over them because they've lost themselves and they don't know the difference. So they're going to be moving you to a safe location somehow. So then you can't really have control over it, and both you and your roommate at the same time get up and just walk out and drive home without saying anything to anybody or each other, because you both were introduced to aliens that warned you to go home, and you did without any thought, like they had literally possessed you and sent you home. But then as soon as you get back, the girl that you like that always ran away, she suddenly wants to be with you. So you start dating her, and you go back and get your certification as an audio engineer. And then you go back, and then you just couch. She leaves again for somebody else. What else is new? Because the thrill is fleeting when she has permanence the same way you do. So then you couch surf, and you're on your antidepressants still, and the weed that the people are smoking around you doesn't mix well, and eventually your car breaks down, and you find out that your ex was pregnant and the kid died, and then your friends kick you out because you can't give them rides anymore because your car breaks down. And then before your car breaks down, you see your ex is with another guy. When you go to see her, she's with another guy. So you crash your car 90 miles an hour into a pole, and then the airbag doesn't go off, and then you can't really function anymore. I think that 17-year-old me would completely understand, and he would be really proud of what I've overcame. And I think that at the end of the day, he was really smart, but he understood his limits. I don't think 17-year-old Casey, he was really smart, really confident, really delusionally optimistic, really smart, like 145 IQ at 14, and really ambitious in life. But I think he had an ego to himself because he had to form one in order to survive in the chaos of what he went through. He had to do that. So I think he would have been proud at the end of the day of how much he had changed, and that he really wasn't as much of a badass as he thought he was. And I think he would recognize over time how badass this version of himself has become, and how real he's become, how talented he's become, how wise he's become. But I think he still would have been upset that this version of me, regardless of how hard the circumstances is, 17-year-old Casey, no matter how hard it got, no matter how much they beat us, ostracized us, We never lost ourselves. He would have been upset that I let myself go, that I lost myself. He would have said, even if I had to lay on the ground for years, I would never lose myself. But with me, eventually it got so bad, it's just, you can't really hold on to anything. I didn't know how bad it could get. I didn't know about sexual abuse. I didn't know about police brutalities. I didn't know about living out freezing and having to suffocate yourself to sleep in a hoodie because you don't have a blanket and hiding behind the. I didn't know about prejudice. I didn't know about communal prejudice and how the world. I had faith in humanity before. Now I don't at all. I think younger me would want me to continue setting an example. I think younger me had a really good way of tuning the world out and just saying fuck you to the entire world and then just being himself. So I think he would be upset that I sort of don't really know how to piece myself back together again to make just radical action constantly towards improvement. Like back then when I was 17, I was working 3 jobs. I had severe CPTSD then, but I was able to like just psychotically keep going to make my dreams happen. So I think he would be upset that I'm not getting back into Casey mode. I used to call it cockroach mode, like survival mode. I used to say my dad and I are like cockroaches because no matter what life throws at us, we find a way to survive. And then I said that the Casey mode, when the world beats me to a pulp and then leaves me out, I love it because I get back up and I go get a job and get a girlfriend and get a car and work out, get a gym membership and run around practicing game. Casey at 17 would be ashamed that Casey now is afraid to state sexual intent because he is chubby and smokes vape. Casey at 17 would think that I was a fucking loser for smoking the vape, but not because I live out in a camper like this. 17-year-old Casey would be like, that's the closest thing we've ever had to a house. And younger Casey would be able to express these high level ideas in a way that was engaging to people and didn't give the energy that there's something wrong with me. Now, when I try to say this high level stuff, there's something with my tone and something with my inability to be like have that confident push that makes the white people. But back then, it would just be like, and then they would understand, and then they would be motivated to ride into battle with me. Now they're like, there's something wrong with this guy, and I'm like, the consciousness hasn't changed. The PTSD made the energy bad, so I'm less here. Doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with you, dude. Well, the last time I saw my foster brother, I call him my foster brother, he was just a kid I took in. He was a good friend of mine. I had left home, and when I left home, I wanted to find a way to save everybody. And the people that were lowering themselves and becoming pieces of shit, they were just getting worse, more selfish, more arrogant, less talented, and just losing themselves. And I felt like the whole world was degenerating but me because I was by myself like a time capsule. The whole world is changing around me. People are getting crazy. They're getting more psychotic and the energy battles and shit. Dominance games. People are going crazy. And I'm just here waking up every day fighting off this chaos and probably artificial intelligence after 5G. And eventually, after my car got stolen and I started performing songs at a park, and someone gave me another car after like 6 months of trying to help kids that were homeless out in Burlington. And I think that was my second winter. That was my second winter outside. And by August, I had gotten another car, and I went down to see him, and he had gotten hooked on crack. He was smoking a lot of crack at 22 years old. No, he was 20 at the time. At 20 years old, he was smoking crack and just wandering around homeless. Then apologizing to his mom and saying, "Can we start over?" And then going back and making music and cooking steak. It had to be his way, which I can relate to. And he was smoking crack, so I said, I hung out with him for a little bit, and then he wanted cigarettes. So I was like, I'll go. Let's go get it. He showed me how he goes up and asks people for a cigarette, and I said, there's a much better way to ask, because I had to ask for money when I was door dashing, and I would run out of gas, so I'd have to wait at the gas station and ask for change to get door dashing. So I showed him, like, if you're gonna beg for money, this is how you do it. So I walked up to a nice lady, and I said, hey. My friend and I are homeless. We're running out of gas, and we're trying to get a pack of cigarettes. Do you have like just change in your console, and we can get tobacco or something? She's like, let me just go buy you a pack. So then she went in and bought us a pack of cigarettes, and then I told him we were going to go back to his house, and then he would go off on his own thing to go get crack. But instead, I took him with the money she was going to give to another pack of cigarettes. I took him all the way up to my favorite spot, like 30 miles into the mountains to a lake, and we hung out, and he was really mad. He was throwing a temper tantrum. He was farting in my car, ripping up all my shit, going, ripping up all my shit, kicking the back of the chair. And I'm just waiting for him to calm down. But then all of a sudden I would see demons outside. And the demons were showing off how they could get into him. And every time they got into him, it smelled disgusting. And then he would start like smiling weird and just like trying to rip at the back of my seat and just ripping all my shit up. And then eventually he fell asleep. And then a vortex opened in my mind because I'm sitting there trying to meditate, get back all the shit that he was taking from me, like trying to put myself back together. And then I felt a portal open, and then in his own mind, like I went into his mind, and then in the back of his mind, it opened, and then I saw three blue aliens that had three regular eyes, and then a ton of tiny eyes, and then they had crystals for eyebrows, and then random crystals here, and like bigger alien, like traditional alien shaped heads. And then they were just amused, and then they reached in and grabbed a polar bear. I don't know if my polar bear's out here. Eventually, I got my dad and I just randomly find polar bear stuffed animals all the time. So they reached. I didn't know at the time that my dad and I both get polar bears, but they reached in and they grabbed a polar bear from my mind, and they were trying to snap its neck. So I went, no, and the polar bear eats you. It's like I willed the polar bear to break free from their spell work and then bite them. And then they were like, that's pretty funny. So then they just whoop and then disappeared. And then a moose came out of the woods and was just standing there staring at me. And I went, there's a fucking moose. And then he was asleep the whole time. But with his eyes closed, he went, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. And then you find out Jake the dog is actually from Adventure Time at the second episode before the last. It's revealed that he's a blue alien. Avatar, the blue aliens. So that would be what people think is wrong with me. It's because I had that experience, and then I see that there's also a lot of stuff coming through artwork that everybody sees that takes it to the blue alien stuff. And then Doja Cat, demons, and then she's dressed up like a blue alien. And then Brendan Urie, Emperor's New Clothes, he's dressed up as a blue alien demon. Then there's stuff like Native American ancestors teach me things about how to wake up to my dormant epigenetics, and then I gain a complete connection to the living forest, and then animals come out and hang out with me. I can ask for shooting stars and get shooting stars on command, and then they tell me they have a gift for me, and then I go down the street, and then they take over here, and then I see them next to the box, and then I open the box, and there's a dream catcher in there. Or like they tell me to go to McDonald's, and I'm like, I don't even want McDonald's. They're like, trust me, go to McDonald's. So then I go down to McDonald's, and then I'm walking just over the grass, and they say, stop, look down. I look down, and then it's a Shaw's name tag, but the name on the name tag is what I wanted my album to be called. And then under that, it was an Arrowhead bottle cap, but the parts of it were chipped off, so it was just the Arrowhead itself, the logo. Like, I'm a 33 life path, born on the 11th, and my dad spent 10 years in Hawaii. I wrote a song called Hawaii last year, and then I went to the 33rd Music Festival and performed my song Hawaii. And then they tell me to watch this movie called Beau is Afraid. And then I watch it, and then the 11 symbolism is everywhere. And he goes to room 303. He goes to his fridge. He opens his fridge and pulls out O apostrophe Loha, the best of Hawaii and Ireland. And I'm a Sagittarius, Aquarius, Taurus. That's the Archer, the Waterman, and then Taurus. And then the main character of Beau is Afraid is Wasserman. And Wasserman means Waterman or Aquarius. Beau like the Archer, and he's a Taurus. You can see on his gravestone that he's a Taurus. So he's Taurus, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and I'm Taurus, Sagittarius, Aquarius. And then the 11 symbol, it turns out he's a twin. And then he's in room 303, and his whole thing is the reoccurring Truman Show of his life, where he's just constantly judged, seeing if he'll make a better decision this time, until he's ultimately sacrificed. Where they're just like brutally on him in a terrible life, but they still judge him harshly for the choices he made. Even though they like really brutally destroyed his mind, he still, that's something for if you watch it, to decide whether Beau is a good person or not. And yeah, he had a mom with red hair that turned out to be part of a secret society. My mom has red hair, and my dad was buddies with the DuPont family. What can you tell me about the end of days? Right now we're in the age of Pisces, where we're separated in the dark waters, and we only have our belief system. So our belief systems will be battling each other in communication, and swimming through the dark waters on our own little adventures, dreaming about the light in front of us, trying to get to the light. And then the more powerful the belief system, the bigger the school of fish. And the schools of fish at war with each other. And that's what happened. Religion was invented and controlled, and then we've all just been in this upward swimming journey. Eventually, the Aquarius will hit pretty soon in the next 100 years. We're already in it. It's just dissipating the dark waters, so we're getting telepathy back. Time is going away. We'll be more infinite beings. We're in Aquarius, it'll be more powerful. Abundance, utopia. Just like the trumpets will sound in the high frequency, will dissipate the darkness. Where we'll realize we're a tiny branch of our actual soul tree, and that there was an infinite number of branches of us that made different decisions along the age of Pisces. And that's why they said that souls will go to Sheol and hell, or paradise or heaven. Paradise is ruled by the tree of life, or the Casey, or the acacia. So that's why Casey Rocket was the biggest stand-up comedian on Kill Tony, next to Adam Ray. That's why Queso was the biggest gamer, Kai Cenat was the biggest streamer, Casey Neistat was the biggest vlogger, Casey O'Brien is the women's national hockey champion, Casey, whose real name was Frank, worked with Loki and OB and Kang the Conqueror, or Casey variants, to help Loki or nature sacrifice itself, and learn from Casey, OB, and Casey on how to understand quantum mechanics so that he can sacrifice himself like the 33 and then transcend into another realm like 11, and then become the Tree of Life, or Yggdrasil, or the Occasion. That's why Call Me Carson, who goes by Gary, and Loki, and Gary's my dad's name, Leo Libra. And then I had a girlfriend whose nickname was Gary, whose brother's name was Leo, and she had a dog named Loki, and Call Me Carson goes by Gary as a screen name, and his developer is Code Husky, whose real name is Loki, and he, in 2023, when all these Caseys popped off, he was making his Minecraft base he called Yggdrasil, or the Tree of Life. And that's why, even though, like, after Kai Cenat, or Casey Rocket is gone from Kill Tony, and Adam Ray is gone from Kill Tony, now it's Pat O'Neill, because I've been talking about McNeil all year. Pat O'Neill is now the biggest guy on Kill Tony, and he just started a podcast called Ray Guitards, which is a play on words, but it starts with Ray. Which is why Ray and that Kai Cenat met Ray, and John Michael's middle name was Ray, and I was dating a girl named Brianna Ray at the time, and Brian's and Ray's and Danielle's all across the board, over and over and over and over and over again. And that's why I would be watching Star Wars The Force Awakens with the main character, and I had a crush on the girl named Ray. That's why John Michael and I would fight over a girl named Ray who made music, and that's why Ray McNeil died when I was on Casey Road taking a picture of it in Brattleboro. And then all the Native American tribes did a parade to celebrate Ray McNeil's life. because his pub was a safe haven for travelers in the native tribes. And that's why Ray William Johnson had equals 3, because if you turn the equal sign sideways, it's 11, and K is the 11th letter, C is the 3rd letter. So equals 3 is KC as well. And I had a cat named Mark. I had a feline named Mark and then it was Felix and Markiplier. And then John or Jack is usually the side character. Like every KC and Ray has a John or a Jack. Gary's a cool name. There ain't a lot of boys named Gary these days. Born with a cigarette glued to their face. There ain't nothing that a Gary can't handle. Saving all his money because a Gary don't gamble. There ain't a lot of girls named Debbie. Oh, that's why the first episode of Shameless I ever watched, the first time I ever saw Shameless, was when Casey Kasdan gets taken by Debbie, and then Frank's kids. So Frank's kids have to get Casey back to his dad, Gary Kasdan. Because it's my show and you're living in it. But like Beau is afraid, it's not an excuse. The PTSD and the conditioning as a child is, at the end of the day, I'm judged for my decisions either way, harshly. Even though it was a shitty life, it's still my life, right? So I'm trying to put a gym in and put the pull-up and dip station in. I'm trying to move this back and then put the pavers here. Trying to make something of my life still. There's just an animal right there. It's right outside. It's a song about Gary dying alone. Sorry, Gary Sharp. But Gary means a mighty spear, so it's cool that your last name is Sharp. Because Gary means mighty spear, which is why Loki is all about his scepter with the Infinity Stone, his mighty spear. And he goes looking for his mighty spear in the TVA, in the show Loki, and then he corners a worker at this bureaucratic organization outside of time and space managing the multiverse. And he corners this guy and goes, give me his Infinity Stone for his mighty spear. And the guy goes, or I'll gut you like a fish. And then the guy goes, what's a fish? And then he shows him, these are all the Infinity Stones. They're just paperweights out here. They're only meaningful in your universe. We're so much more beyond that, which kills Loki's ego, and he becomes a hero. The only person to defeat Loki is Casey, whose real name was Frank before the TVA took him. And then Casey and OB work together to make the manual for the TVA. And OB is like Ouroboros. And that's why episode 2 of Loki, when he goes through time for the first time and pops up in like Renaissance times, it's the O'Brien flag behind him where the portal comes out. So what's my purpose? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I AI generated an image of a girl I thought would be my perfect girl, and I gave her a name. And then I went downtown, and there was a new employee at the store that I usually go to, and her name is the same name, and she's identical to what I generated. And then I go to the next store, and it looks like the same exact person, just shuffled a little bit of it, like it generated a few images. It generated a few people in my life just show up. And one of them has the same name as the girl. The other one says, I make music, I play all these instruments. And I'm like, why does she seem so interested in me? Because I'm a smelly, chubby homeless man. She shouldn't seem this interested in me. And look like what I AI generated as the perfect girl yesterday. And I wanted someone to make music with. Is she even real? Is it a Truman Show? Is it like a spiritual Truman Show where it's just, or has God known us since before we were born? That's probably it. But what do I do? I'm seeing me on a jet ski. The worst part is when I wake up so much I can see all the entities around me, and then they reveal themselves. Because I don't know how to live with that. So I tune it out. Like when I know that something has been helping my consciousness this whole time, and then I become aware of it, and then I see it out of the corner of my eye because a pressurized beam of light hits the side of my head right now. But before I knew that they were supporting me, it was bad. It was like a nightmare where I knew that something was controlling people and helping like guide their impulses. And then I would see that my girlfriend was a bad person and that she was lying to me and trying to like talk to her and seeing the thing controlling her, steer her around and like guide her impulses until she would get randomly mad and walk out. And I'm not like prying at her or anything. I'm just saying like just simple stuff. But because I had more awareness, she was getting afraid of my awareness because it was a literal demonic possession. Attractive people have the worst demons because they use them for sex. Oh, there's some weird ringing. Oh, that's changing the frequency of the environment. And there's just some animals just kind of chilling on the tree line right here. Or something making noise. Every now and then I get a cold chill and then I hear a stomp. Like something's like asserting itself at me. Yeah, but post your birthdays, man. Gary, have I done a reading on? Have I? I say reading, but if you just post your birthday, I usually have a lot of shit to say. It was a moth. I do readings because I know how we are created at this time. Time leaves town, but the minute hand stays. Has anybody heard from Gary these days? Clutching on his heart while the parakeet prays. Has anybody heard from Gary these days? Because Gary don't gamble. My dad's name's Gary. Gary O'Brien, a mighty spear of the O'Brien clan, a mighty spear descendant of giant that sacrificed himself to save his people. And both of our middle names is Francis, and he's born on the 10th, Leo, Libra, 3 life path. I'm born on the 11th, Sagittarius, Aquarius, it's fire and air, 33 life path. How rare is that? Born on the 10th, 3 life path, Gary, 4 letters, same shape, the yin yang, fire air, but balanced, simple fire air, simple life path, simple name. Casey, still shaped like the yin yang, but a little bit bigger. Sagittarius Aquarius, which is like overwhelming energies, forward moving rather than balanced. Born on the 11th, which is exponentially more than the 10th, and then 33, which is exponentially more than the 3rd. Similar from the Welsh pagan faith. Can you explain to me what paganism actually is? To me, it just seems like eating babies, where you see spirituality as a resource and you consume the spiritual resources of others. What else is there to paganism other than spiritual cannibalism to the energy around us? What the fuck is this? I'm out in the woods talking to aliens and I'm a psychic. Post your birthday, but post your honest birthday and have a genuine kind of lose your expectations of what you think it's going to be. And then usually there's something really special. Like there was a hater that was like prying me for like do this, do this, do this. And then Spirit was saying fuck you, but also this is what your 2 dead cats look like and these are your 2 coworkers' names. It wouldn't give him any information on himself. Like another guy came in that was trolling and gave a fake name, and then it literally wouldn't show me any information for him, but it showed me a farmer standing in a field. And he was like, nope, I don't even live anywhere near a field. But then if you look up what his play on words name is, Hoffman, because he was Jack Hoffman. If you look up what Hoffman actually means, it's a farmer standing in a field. So I was shown enough for it to prove that it was real. But they wouldn't let me do it for the trolls. So you, Chief Peepee, weren't you here yesterday? I did a reading on you yesterday, bro. It's an alt. It's an alt for Fluttershy. You wean too much into the. Well, I did your exact birthday yesterday. If you're not the guy from yesterday trolling, I did your exact birthday yesterday. That's some weird noises out there. I did do your exact birthday yesterday. Um, Cancer 6. You'll find that the environment responds to you more than it does to others, as if you are literally in control of it. But what that is that you have a natural harmony. Your soul emanates with a natural harmony that made people want to covet you. As a Cancer, you had a higher responsibility, most likely for a Sagittarius, where it was your brother and he was more adventurous, but you were actually the one that kind of held shit together. Even though he brought you to the place, you were kind of the anchor that held shit together because he was too reckless or she was too reckless for you. It means that you had a big family. Or if you didn't have a big family, you still relentlessly tried to help everybody for a while until you realized either that they don't deserve it or you had lots of narcissists trying to stop you from feeling like you deserve to exist because they saw that peace and that resonance and all that stuff as a resource that made them jealous, or they thought that they could use it like a drug so that they would play you and guilt trip you and play your emotions and then try to gaslight you because you didn't realize that they were trying to take shit from you spiritually. They were trying to harvest your love because you naturally generate harmony, supposed to be healing people around you and working at like a community program or a gas station that deals with other people. As a Cancer, I would say mainly you're the guy people vent to, unless you've become too arrogant. Because six days and 33s, the problem is that natural harmony, in order to survive, you develop an ego, and then the ego takes too far control, and you become extremely arrogant, and then you use the manifestation powers, which is really just spirit helping you, but you have a greater ability to generate a cohesive thought form, because most people are trapped in distortion and demonic energies. So what you're mainly supposed to do is lead by example. You also see the world completely. You saw the AI just aliens just fucking. You see things as fucking. Everybody is an extension of yourself. You see people's emotions and spirit literally as if it's part of you. So you develop these strong boundaries to sort of block it, and that became kind of ego based. People don't vent to me. I have no friends. People always try and control me because I'm too lenient, but I just agree with whatever people say because I'm incredibly socially awkward. You're not socially awkward. You're afraid to be yourself. So hopefully that's cool. You're the inverse of the last person with your birthday. That's really cool. You're literally the inverse of the other person that I had to block because it was the bad traits of your birthday. You are also 2004. I'm pretty sure it's a monkey, right? 2000's the dragon. 2001's the snake. 2002's the horse. 2003's the goat. 2004 is the monkey. You have a natural presence throughout your entire body. I think that you were led to believe that you didn't deserve to exist and you put all of your shit inwards, so you're self-attacking. I think that you need to focus on something outside of yourself to allow your presence to get back into your body, because I'm seeing that you are too introspective to a point where you're self-attacking. Like you're not letting yourself be yourself. And there's no one way you have to live. Anyone that says that there's a way you should live is full of shit. Anyone that says that you have to be a part of the way society is full of shit. There's no there's nothing really good about it. You can be anything you want and whoever you want and all that social norm bullshit. As long as you're conscious and you're caring and you have empathy, there's no way that you have to be. There's no weirdness. You know, it's just you are the decisions you make and the impact and influence you have on others at the end of the day. So as long as you're not impacting them in a bad way, Be whatever you want, whoever you want. And then you'll find that you all of a sudden are filled with this power. And that power is the harmony of the six inside the soft, caring shell, the soft, caring meat of the crab with the hard exterior. I think that people didn't let you have that exterior. Something happened to you that took away your feeling of boundaries, which I can relate to. You're also you're a one life path. 2004. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 7. Oh, hold up. Let me do it again. 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 2 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. You're actually a 2. Okay, that would explain. Okay. And this has been coming up a lot. I think the other guy was a 2 as well. Two energies are pink. Two energies are very emotionally complex. They experience everything at a greater level. Information comes to them a lot greater, a lot more complex, and it's very easy to understand. With the 6 here, with this natural resonance, that means that you are literally experiencing changes in your environment, electromagnetic energy, at a more complex level, as if it literally, like you, when your mindset changes, it literally changes the frequency of everything around you. You are literally you have a way bigger toroidal field than other people. That's the thing here, is that masculine confidence is, you've inverted. There's opening the root chakra and grounding is really important. Channeling the masculine energy is important by doing hard things that deal with the stuff. I would do things that don't rely on emotion at all, so that you can incorporate the emotion and learn how to have fun with it. Stuff like carpentry, hauling rocks, getting in the gym. Stuff that helps with this focus, because they would think you have ADHD, but really it's that your attention is just, instead of being a singular point of focus, it's expanded to a much greater level of information hitting you emotionally. Yeah, people have been trying to squish the spider stuff. Yeah, I was physically assaulted a lot of times as a kid, teen adult. Something either was trying to force your boundaries. People have strong contrasts in their creation, and in their formative years they're severely challenged, that develops into a constant cycle of abuse, self abuse, so that you over time grow into some type of strength that you'll value later. Like, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm always trying to get up and go and do things, if you haven't realized. But the trauma of just being restrained and locked in rooms, tackled and held down. Because if it was just a fight, I would win. But it had to be like groups of people would hold me down and lock me in rooms. Or like I would finally get ready to get up and go on my adventure. And then my schizophrenic mom, who doesn't have schizophrenia, but I don't know what she's got. She's got issues. Was convinced I had a grenade and was coming to kill her. Lied to the police, smiling with a knife. Smiling on the phone. When I look in the window, she's smiling, lying to the cops. Happy about it. And then they maced me and locked me in a room for days without washing my eyes after they maced me. And then they made me get on my knees and put their crotch against the side of my head. So now when I try to expand my thoughts, like the Sagittarius Mercury, well, for a long time it was just met with the same thing over and over again, just being abused sexually. And then I was like, I always have these ideas that I'm like, I know I could build a homeless rickshaw wagon, and I could implement it across the state. I could build public showers, and I could end homelessness tomorrow with enough money. But I can never get enough money. I get a car, it's taken from me. I get a job, the manager, who's a guy, tries to sleep with me. Like my foreman in carpentry tries to fucking sleep with me. The guy that took me in 2022 when I was doing landscaping, he tried to fuck me. A guy introduces me to a guy worth $100 million, and he's in tech. First night that I'm staying at the guy's house, he whips his dick out with his assault rifle, and he's jerking off on Omegle next to me. holding his assault rifle. But, fighting it, you gain strength, and eventually you learn how to make it go away. How to just let it go. And then I've learned a greater control over things. The challenges are there for a reason, but it sucks. So I would say that the best thing I would do for you is to just work on your physical body, take care, self-care routine, and then doing things that require focus, that you have to tune your emotions out, and then incorporate the emotions back into the confidence that you develop. And then the world is your oyster, and you're probably pretty. I would think if you're a guy, girls probably find you physically attractive, but they took away your feeling of that you deserve to feel attractive, which I have as well. The good thing about the monkey is that, other than people, what they were mainly mad about, the reason that people attacked you so much, you have a natural presence that goes all the way down. Your whole body has a presence, and then that's enhanced by the six energy and enhanced by the Cancer energy, that deep, watery emotions that cover the whole body, which means that you were attacked because they wanted to stop you from being present to the moment, because you had a level of presence that if you were able to feel good about yourself, that presence would become so attractive to people and so valuable. So people were jealous before you even realized what was happening, and they tried to take it from you as if something had known, and it was like something else jumping into them, guiding their impulses, making them upset to target you. But at the end of the day, it is just a challenge you overcome, and then you find value in it once you overcome it. You're glad that it happened at the end of the day, even though it really, really sucks. And I'm like, how could a God do this to us? At the end of the day, if you just keep pushing and keep going, you do become somebody that you become grateful for the challenges you faced in life. You're fairly young. I think you're 22. You're about to turn 22. I would put yourself in positions with a lot of people socially. I would say I don't think that you drink or smoke, but I would say that regardless, you'd still be welcome to any beach party you went to. You heard? So you do astral projecting something? I'm a literal, like, ancient being of some kind. I don't know. I don't know. I was raised alone on top of a mountain with a room full of Legos in an abandoned ski resort by myself, with the parents that were checked out mentally from their own severe trauma, but were pretty funny, very intelligent, probably autistic. Funny. They were really funny people, really smart people with just ridiculous amount of severe trauma and bullshit in their life. And in that, I've learned. I mean, I used to just explore the infinite, and I would turn it into wisdom, and then I would just apply it to my own life, and then I would just have fun and be a kid because I understood the value of being a kid. So I would just like take my friends on adventures and go on a lot of dates, and I learned social skills from pickup artists, and I invented my own social structure. I didn't like game and pickup, so I made my own. And I wanted to become a life coach, and I wanted to make my albums, and I wanted to make content, and I wanted to be a movie star, and I wanted to get really buff and get good at sports and martial arts. Chef, you're 20, you're at 20, like I'm 26, I wish I was 22. The only thing that I would say is to take more risks in life and don't worry so much about the outcome and just do shit. Do shit at random. Do random shit. I mean, like go. Like I was always pushed to do like crazy shit. Like I wanted to make music, and I know you fuck like I was in Burlington, and I wanted to get in the Burlington music scene, and so I made this song. I know you fuck with these Burlington rappers, King K Hasa, the tree they branch off of. I think they all lost and got no sauce, bruh. A bunch of bots. Maybe that's why God sent me here and he dropped me off. Because when they came for my heart and I swung back harder, I evolved. Boy, I'm like thunder, wait for the roar. There's nowhere to hide, I'm the king of the north. My whole team is ready for war. We know that we're special and came back to settle the score. We drew up our fiery swords and we're ready to come gun down all of you dorks. You can never get my glory. I'm adorning a doormat. You're a doormat, and annoying. Get the fuck out of my flat foyer. But that's actually that's the second verse. Hold up, the first verse is I think they all lost and got swung back harder. I evolved, and then the it's like a choir that I distorted to sound like fire, and then heavy 808s, but it's also like a boom bap thing. It's really cool. Uh, my dad sits in the garden with both of his cats. I go to town with a gun on my sack. I don't think y'all know nothing about that. You all don't know Jack. This that new Return of the Mac. I go to war like a colonel from Brat. Polar bears don't do good in the pack. Kids downtown are hooked on crack. All of my exes think that I'm jealous. I ain't impressed that you fucking a dork. You won't see me fucking on fat bitches. All it says to stay away from the pork. This ain't a hobby. Wait, this ain't Rick and Morty. This was brick and mortar. Ain't no Rick and Morty. All the kids I put on fell off dead like an unwanted abortion. This ain't a hobby or chore. This is a war. I struggled and suffered for it. Slept on the ground for 3 winters, eating from dumpsters, fucking on whores just to get warm. Now I'm fucking on somebody foreign and somebody's foreign. I made it so euphoric, she met the Lord. I got people begging me to do porn. If I did, I'd charge $1 million for it. I ain't lying, I'm a giant Irish lion, diagnosed with oppositional defiance. One day y'all go see me on the Forbes. Everything I spit is fine. I'm embedded in their minds like vinyl. Everything I spit is final. Bottom line, like I wrote my signature. I go out to public parks just to make those demons knock it off. I won't turn my shit down for you, bitch. You are not the boss. Oh, you got a boo-boo little bitch? Go and walk it off. Every time they cut me down, I came back with a Molotov. Boy, I'm like thunder, wait for the roar. There's nowhere to hide. I'm the king of the north. My whole team is ready for war. We know that we're special and came back to settle the score. We drew up our fiery swords and ready to come gun down all of you dorks. You can never get my glory. I'm a dorn and a doormat. I'm a dorn and ornament. You're a doormat and annoying. Get the fuck out my flat foyer. I just raw dogged my 5th bitch this morning like a Mormon. I got an assortment of shorties whose little brothers adore me. Go ask the Lord who you think's more important. Before I throw you over my shoulder and straight to the floor and keep ripping and ripping and ripping and ripping up. Guts, blood, and gore. Scream to the Lord. Torn vocal cords. Can't cry no more. And a satisfying end to your story. And I wasn't vaping back then. The tone was much deeper and more assertive. It was a lot nicer. The energy was better. I'm kind of fucked up now. I used to have abs and was big and was wearing nice clothes. Now I'm kind of a hippie, but my brain told me, just go to the fucking concert. Lil Uzi Vert was there. It was all local kids, like kids my age. Just go there and perform it to them before they go in and ask if you can open for them. But instead I left. I panicked and I fucking left town. Even if they turn, and I have a lot of moments where I did do that thing, but that's one of the regrets. Like, I wish I had just tried at least, and like relentlessly tried. And if they kicked me out for trying, who cares? I'm an Avenged Sevenfold guy. I'm a 3 Days Grace guy. I don't really know Creed. I know he's Christian and he's shirtless and he's like the rain is on him and he's going ah. That's like what Creed music is to me. That's all I've seen of him. Is him like knelt down at a lakeside while it's raining or like a cliffside and he's going ah. Is that Creed? Is that what Creed is? Basically, if I were to give you a cancer role model to see like whatever, I would strip the MGTOW narcissist bullshit from Tristan Tate, and I would say to look at Tristan Tate for the way that he cares about his brother, and then the ability he has to hold space and authority. That's kind of what I would get from your stuff. Like I would say Tristan Tate would be sort of what you should look to become your own version, a better version than Tristan Tate. And then it's not a bad thing to be a supporting character. Like just because somebody else like me might rampage and do these ambitious things and you're just kind of along for the ride, at the end of the day, people will see you as more valuable. They'll see you as an adventurous pioneer, but they'll see you as more sane. And usually the cancers get the better relationships with the women anyway. Even if the Sagittarius tends to get more attractive people, they're usually narcissists. And the relationship dynamic becomes way too kind of righteous fire. Cancers have this ability to have deep, meaningful relationships. So you get kind of more out of every instance because you're not on this relentless, psychotic adventure. Some people are here to just experience life, and people that are humble and like you usually get a more fulfilling life. And you get tall and attractive features because you're a good person and you're just here to experience the good parts of life. And they have to add some bad so that you value the good and don't become an arrogant narcissist piece of shit sitting in troll group hate comment sections talking shit to cope with your miserable, meaningless life. Be the next Jelly Roll or even bigger? Jelly Roll? I don't want to be Jelly Roll. I want to be Casey. Do I have any song like Jelly Roll? Jelly Roll makes trash music in my opinion. Somebody save me on ourselves. Waiting so long with nobody else. Well, the cops and the cunts and the creeps and the crows all want the same thing, to rip and tear at your soul. So before the morning comes, something else can come and try and grab a hold and take control, and now they own you. Oh, when I was just a boy, they all told me I was blessed, and something about me means I'm meant for success. Now they all talk shit behind my back, put a target, told the town I'm hooked on crack, then I'm messed up in the head and I need meds because I don't want to work a stupid fucking job and pretend I have a boss. Well, I grew up poor in a ski resort town where we all made money by eliminating frowns, and I think it's kind of funny how these whites are so proud, but when the rich men come around, they all keep their head down and submit just like a dog. Well, when I can't get to sleep, I think of old folks' homes where the spiteful little bullies cry until they die alone, 'cause the world they built by beating others only did 'em wrong, 'cause no one taught 'em how to love. And I hope that they see me on my Indian scow when I take their little girls on a ride around town, and they have to bitch to God 'cause the nurse don't care to hear 'em cry about it, 'cause she's on TikTok showing off her butt. And when they're on their deathbed, I hope that they see my face when whatever tortures me shows them all the love I gave, trying to help them sing and clap along to my broken-hearted songs. Hey, hey, hey. And before they meet their grave and the good Lord takes them away, I hope the final breath they take is followed by a list of names, and somewhere along the way I get an I'm sorry or an island from their estate. And the cops and the cunts and the creeps and the crows will have another friend to follow everywhere I go. And I'm so grateful for 'em, 'cause without 'em I wouldn't have ever known the value that I hold. In my head, wait, in my head, you're in my bed, waiting for the day I wake up scared. You'll tell me it's okay, I'll take you anywhere. I know you hate me, we made mistakes, but if we can just escape somewhere away from all the pain, maybe the memories we made will fill up all the holes we made. But you're gone and that's okay, I'll fold your blanket up and leave it in my safe place. In my heart is broken apart. But sometimes when I think of you, it lightens up the dark. I know they hate me. They think I'm crazy, but they don't understand just what it takes to be out here every single day, isolated and afraid. The angels keep me sane when I'm alone and I'm in danger. Don't worry about me, girl, it's okay. I'm outside, singing in the rain without a safe place. Mankind made the Illuminati. What instruments do you play? Guitar, piano, when I was a producer, and I used to run a recording studio out of my apartment. You ever seen the Chicago Bull symbol upside, a robot reading a book? I've heard that before, actually. I have a computer. I'm trying to just get back into producing. Out here in the wild east, where the leaves change every season. Hold up. Where the leaves change every season, you can drive through on the weekend, sit and drink with some real good mac and cheese. Please be sure to come back for the skiing. We're in the business of making memories. We'll be here if you need us. Just don't stay too long after dark, you might get raped by the police. And we won't care unless it plays and sounds nice on our screen. Comes through at the right time, scrolling on our feed. Once that open sign flips over, only God gon' hear your pleas. Out here in the wicked wild east. Out here in the wild east. We don't care about your feelings. Lose yourself or lose your freedoms. We'll send you straight to the retreat. We will beat you if you feel good. We got kids that think they're real hood, that no one cares to teach. If we don't like you any reason, you're most likely food for trees. We will find out where you sleep, and they won't find you anywhere until you're evergreen. And we won't let you in for heat and drive by laughing as you freeze. We all know it's your fault the rich men bleed us. And we won't ever be there with you neither, 'cause we still believe in Jesus. So if you make it to the morning, shut your mouth and stay the fuck far from those leaf peepers. Anywhere where we don't see you. We don't care what's in your veins, who you were before who you became. Play a role or play it safe. 'Cause if we don't put on a good show, then we'll have to hunt to eat. Out here in the wicked wild east. The world's toilet and great escape, where our problems hide in closets until it's your turn to get raped. I missed a couple verses. Uh, if we don't like you anyway, if you ain't working, you ain't worth shit. We will leave you out on purpose. You can rot with all the fiends. We take pride in being mean. You should see how tourists treat us. So hold your pain and hide them stains, or we'll ask you to leave. And we won't let you in for heat. Drive by laughing as you freeze. 'Cause we all know it's your fault the rich men bleed us. Why'd you stop producing? Because my lease ran out of my apartment, and I wanted to travel and DoorDash. And then I stayed with my mom for 3 days. And then I was in DCF because my mom has mental issues. I woke her up and said, "Hey, I'm going to charge my car battery and go travel, DoorDash and travel." And she locked the door when I left, barricaded herself in, smiling, holding a kitchen knife, lying to the cops that I had a grenade and was coming to kill her. So then they showed up, tackled me, maced me into a wall, dragged me, lied to the news about what happened because it was a false arrest, and locked me in a room without washing my eyes for days. And now everybody makes fun of the blank stare. It's because I had permanent damage to my eyes. And they left me in a room for days, didn't feed me, no bedding or running water. And then I got kicked out of town, and I traveled, and everywhere I went in my Dodge Magnum with my nice coat, Tim, smoking blacks with a New York brim, walking around Vermont. They think I'm a drug dealer. Got ripped out of cars, all this terrible shit. But I kept trying to make music, kept trying to produce. I'd pull up at parks, and I'd make songs like Shot for Shot, which is on my channel. I made that just sitting in a park, screaming in my car. And eventually the car got stolen. And then I kept the computer safe for as long as I could. But eventually, I think I was performing, and kids were by my computer looking at what I do. And they sprayed bug spray, and it got in the fan. So then months later it overheated, and then it hasn't worked since. So then for 2 years I traveled on foot because my car had broken down after I got another car performing at parks. Somebody gave me a car. And then I traveled. I walked like 200 miles from Randolph, Vermont to Johnson. And every small town would just people trying to kill me. People throwing shit at my head, slamming me with the side mirror, trespasses before I even get there, false police reports, trying to weaponize the cops against me, just overall prejudice. Nobody would hire me. I didn't even get to the point where I didn't know that I didn't have two forms of ID, because I would go there, fill out the application, they would be friendly, and then I leave, and then they call the cops, and I get trespassed. And then a couple other police brutalities, and then I almost froze to death, and then my little brother, who I was trying to make music with, froze to death. And then I got a job like 6 months later, and then people twisted the brakes off my bike, and then I crashed. I fell 6 feet off the road and got knocked unconscious, hairline fractures everywhere. And then I had to lay by the river, and I kept making songs, but my computer was still broke. And then eventually I got a gig shoveling snow, and then they did a GoFundMe after a guy threatened to crush me with a bucket loader. That's on my channel. Mickey tried to crush me with a bucket loader, and then the police chief took his side. And then they gave me a car. I still owe $1,000 on it, but the car's transmission fluid's turning black, and the wheel bearings are bad, or the wheel bearings are bad. I have the wheel hub replacement. I don't have enough money to do it, and I'm still looking for work and can't find any, because in the course of those years, every time I missed court, I'd get arrested again, or every time that my mom messaged me and I messaged her back, or she'd invite me to hang out with them and I'd go hang out with them. At random, she would call and she'd go, "I want him violated." That's on my channel. You can see how malicious and how she will lie to their face. Just trying to hurt me for no reason. It was about my car. They wanted my car to get taken from me. They were jealous of the car. They were trying to convince the cops that it was stolen so that they could take my car away from me, because they are too poor to get a car. So my dad gets drunk and crashed his multiple times. He's crashed multiple cars drunk. I tried to shoot myself a few months ago, and my dad only reached out to Kendra, whose name isn't really Kendra. Reached out to Kendra, trying to find my car. That's the only thing they said. They didn't say, "Is he okay?" They said, "Where the fuck is his car?" Inbred lemon cave monkeys. Radshad, you're on thin ice, buddy. I saw you in Robbie's chat. I saw you in Omar's chat. You're on thin ice, buddy. It's all good. But yeah, I finally got a computer because somebody sent me $333. So I was like, I could fix the wheel bearings or I could get a computer. So I'll show you. This is the clothing design I'm working on. I'm not happy with the letters, but I haven't gone on Photoshop yet. I just did. I want to change the letters around, but that's going to be my first merch drop. Owl right to left. In confirmation. Some guy asked me to Photoshop him with a celebrity, so I I put myself in there with cornrows. What do you want? This is me if things went right in my life. This is me if I had short hair. Arguably more attractive, but I like my hair, man. This is me if I was actually a trans lesbian. This is me if I was brave and had money. This is me with my inbred cave monkey wife that thinks he's genetically superior for some reason. This is the shirt if it was Irish. But I don't like that, so I'm working on this one. And then I wouldn't sell this. Radshad narcissistically trying to cover his tracks. What? Oh yeah, like he's actually talking to me. But that's what when I talked about 3D working with embroidery to make my merch. But I wouldn't do this because it's too derivative of native sacred teachings, like Black Queens. I'm a quarter black. I don't know if I like Black Queens, but I think Lupita Nyong'o in her prime Lupita deserves to be Helena Troy. She's bad as hell. My childhood crush after Katara was too young for me now because I was like 13 became Agent Carter. I want me a Peggy Carter. Haley Atwell. Oh my god, I've sent you money. It's better than what I can say about all the other guys. Why are you sending Gloves money, man? Don't send Gloves. Gloves gets too much money. I don't know what the hell VP Gloves does to get so much fucking money, but he makes a lot of money. Gloves makes a lot of money. And I'm not really an e-beggar. Hey, today I applied to a bunch of different jobs and they're literally trespassing me. Let me do a life path reading, and if you like it, send me something. But it's for free, you don't have to. Those other people are like demanding cash. They're like shaming people and demanding the money. The only time I shame my audience is saying like, how much shit have you seen me go through and you're still talking shit? You've seen my struggle, bro. And you still think I'm a perpetual victim? No, look, as soon as I got the place, you're like, Casey's a perpetual victim, does nothing. Look, as soon as I got a stable place, look at all the shit that I've done and built. And I was telling you, literally, it's just PTSD, and that I was trapped in survival mode. I'm chilling in a castle. It literally wasn't a perpetual victim thing. It was a literal victim saying, "What the fuck? Come on, guys, stop it." It was literally people were trying to kill me, so I had to go live on the internet in case it happened. And I recorded a couple instances where it happened again. Lupita Nyong'o, my jungle princess, come with me. Reverse age back to 25, and we will go off into the mountains of Hawaii together. Bro, you've come way up. I'm happy for you, man. Appreciate it. Hey, can you play a song? Yeah, I can play a song. I'll play Mosquitoes. Speaking of, I just solved my mosquito problem. Look, a fucking earwig crawling to my ears. Get out of here. The skinwalkers won't like it, but Fago, that's what you are. I have to find my tuner though. There it is. You should get an electric zapper. Maybe when I start selling merch, when I start up the actual clothing store. I want to get like a solar. I don't have any electricity out here. I'm not here to shit talk others. Is this any better? Let me know. it any better? The frequency changed. The forest like kind of upset at the forest was kind of mad at the tuning of frequencies, and then I felt like this big whoosh of like stop it, and then the phone went out. And also, I don't think that my phone has good enough internet to handle like more than like 10 people watching. Something spiritual happens when a lot of people watch, and I don't think my phone has enough service to handle it. Is the person that asked for the song even here? Well, I hear voices in my head. It's worse when I get out of bed. And I don't trust that I'll find a love who understands. So leave me be and let me smoke my cigarettes. 'Cause deep inside I'd rather be dead. 'Cause I make choices that lead to dead ends, led by a broken mind afraid of itself. And I just can't find no one who can look at me with respect. 'Cause the cops gave me trauma and the crows ate the rest. I don't know how to be human again. So I was just waiting to see, is the service still good, or when I play and stuff does it cut out? Because that wasn't even the right capo. Was that all good? My fingers are too big for this tiny guitar. Thought I'd be alive by now, and I would save the world somehow, and you'd come back and see my name in lights. Life is short and what I found, everything just fizzles out, and all you love only gets old and dies. But I won't come back and tell you all my options fell through, so you can say you saw it right. Welcome me with open arms, love me and then break my heart, leave me there and run off with my life. We used to be on fire, now we're all just liars, hiding from the truth about ourselves. Like mosquitoes on a mountainside, we all waste the gift of flight, hunting for the love of someone else. I can't see well. I can't breathe. They said I would be a millionaire, live my whole life in the air, profit off the children's hearts and minds. When they sat me in the room, my hero sang a different tune, and all we saw was evil in their eyes. So you can keep your pretty lies, tears that look like crocodiles, sell it to somebody else. But maybe soon I'll see you and do what you did to me, love you, leave you, let you rot in hell. I can't see well. I can't breathe. I don't sleep well without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You missed me, I bug you, you love it, you need me. I thought I would be the king by now and save the world. It's funny how I wound up in the woods all by myself. The friends I fought to save only care about reputation. Now they're screaming in the sickest show and tell. It turns out you all suck, and now I'm happy that you're stuck. Where were you when I was crying out for help? You wrote me off as nothing, but now that I get money, suddenly you care about my mental health. Well, I can't see well. I can't breathe. I don't sleep well without you here with me. I missed a part. We were fearless, running wild, singing songs around the fire. Now you're living in whatever lie that helps. Like mosquitoes in the cities, we need blood and it ain't pretty. Chasing a light that kills ourselves. I can't see well. I can't breathe. I don't sleep well without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You missed me, I bug you. You love it, you annoy me. Can I kiss you? Fly away again. Don't tell me after everything I've been through, the hells that I've been sent to, that I should just give up and get a life. The world put me through so much that I can barely function. It takes everything to just get up and try. So I'll wear that boot collar and waste my life for dollars. Maybe find love when I'm 45. Sit there in a shitty house, listen to you bitch about all the things you're too afraid to try. Maybe then I'll feel a spark, finally open my heart up and take off in the woods again. Do you feel that your soul is dead? I feel like I've been talking to a camera for hours and I vape excessively. When I stop vaping, which hopefully is soon, but I spent a lot of money on them. But soon I'm building the pull-up and dip station. I'm moving this over here, so I'll be exercising more, and I'll be able to be outside more in the fresh air, not living in a moldy camper. I'll be out here where it's fresh air. It'll get better. Thunderclouds, passing rain, keep me trapped inside a cave, dreaming about when I'm on stage, something clicks, and I finally find my place. But I know one day soon the spotlights shining down on us all are gonna fall. Will they love me for all my flaws, or judge me for all my faults? And maybe I would be someone if I didn't waste my whole life lying down, freaking out about the things I can't figure out. I climbed up that mountain and I found out we got it all wrong. The view is cool, but they only play sad songs. And I sat down with the superstars, and they told me they'd rather lose it all and be anyone who can do anything. And maybe it's a trap, and being famous ain't all that. 'Cause every step you climb is a sacrifice, and the farther you rise, further have you got left to die? Until you're sat atop your pile of trophies alone and begging God why. And he'll show you the mountains, he'll show you the trees, he'll show you the fire and how it burns when it's freezing. He'll beat you and break you and leave you disabled, unable to speak. Then he'll kick you and rape you and make them all hate you till all you feel are chips in your teeth, cutting holes in your cheek. While they all laugh as everyone falls to their knees. Then he'll take you by a riverside with the birds and the bees. He'll show you the kids and what they saw on their screens while their parents argue about Ponzi schemes. He'll show you you, and he'll show you me, and everything I did to help you see before I gave up on you. And it broke my heart too, but it set me free. So if you need to, I won't compete. I'll exit stage left and let you play the lead. You can be the king of make-believe, but when you find it ain't all what it's cracked up to be, you won't find me. 'Cause I'll be in Hawaii. Thunderclouds and passing rain keep me trapped. I thought I'd be alive by now and I would save the world somehow, and you come back and see my name in lights. Life is short and what I found, everything just fizzles out. All you love only gets old and dies. But I won't come back and tell you that all my options fell through, so you can say you saw it right. You welcome me with open arms, love me and then leave me scarred. Leave me there and run off with my life. We used to be on fire, now we're all just liars, hiding from the truth about ourselves. Like mosquitoes on a mountainside, we all waste the gift of flight, hunting for the love of someone else. I can't see well, I can't breathe. They said I would be a millionaire, live my whole life in the air, profit off the children's hearts and minds. When they sat me in the room, my heroes sang a different tune, and all we felt was evil in their eyes. So you can keep your pretty lies, tears that look like crocodiles, sell it to somebody else. But maybe soon I'll see you and do what you did to me, love you, leave you, let you rot in hell. We used to be on fire, now we're all just liars, hiding from the truth about ourselves. Like mosquitoes by a riverside, if you want fun it's dinner time, unless you use a chemical to help. Well, I can't see well, I can't breathe, I don't sleep well. without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You missed me, I bug you, you're annoying, you need me. I thought I would be the king by now and save the world. It's funny how I wound up in the woods all by myself. The friends I fought to save only care about reputation, now they're screaming in the sickest show and tell. It turns out they all suck, and now I'm happy that you're stuck. Where were you when I was crying out for help? You wrote me off as nothing, but now that I get money, suddenly you care about my mental health. We were fearless, running wild, singing songs around the fire. Now you're living in whatever lie that helps. Mosquitoes in the cities, we need blood and it ain't pretty. Chasing a light that kills ourselves. Well, I can't see well. I can't breathe. I don't sleep well without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You missed me, I bug you, you're annoying, can I kiss you? Fly away again. Don't tell me after everything I've been through, the hells that I've been sent to, that I should just give up and get a life. The world put me through so much that I can barely function. It takes everything to just get up and try. Fuck it, I'll wear that blue collar and waste my life for dollars. Maybe find love when I'm 45. Sit there in your shitty house and listen to you bitch about all the things you're too afraid to try. Maybe then I'll feel a spark, finally open my heart up and take off in the woods again. My throat's just sore because I've been talking for maybe 6 hours now. And I've been vaping. But hey, I finally lost enough weight that my fucking jacket fits me again. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I'd be good friends with anybody. Except Gandalf, probably. I think Gandalf and I would be pretty cool. Rock gut whiskey's gonna ease my mind. Beach towel dress on the drying line. The sand from your hair is blowing in my eye. Blame it on the beach, grown men don't cry. Do I remind you of your daddy in my 88 Ford? Labrador hanging out the passenger door. Do you remember that beat down basement couch? I'd sing you my love songs and you tell me about how your mama ran off in the pondering rain. I remember everything. Cold shoulder, closing time, you were begging me to stay until the sun rose. Ooh, strange words come on out a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke. Pictures and passing time, you only smile like that when you're drinking. I wish I didn't, but I do remember every moment on the nights with you. I remember every moment on the nights with you. You're drinking every day just to ease your mind. When the hell are you gonna ease mine? You're like concrete feet in the summer heat. It burns like hell and it's 2 stone deep. No, you'll never be the man that you always swore. But I'll remember you singing in that 88 Ford. Cold shoulder, closing time. You were begging me to stay until the sun rose. Ooh, strange words come on out a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke. Pictures and passing time. You only smile like that when you're drinking. I wish I didn't, but I do remember every moment on the nights with you. Remember every moment on the nights with you. The sand from your hair is blowing in my eyes. Blame it on the beach, grown men don't cry. Do I remind you of your daddy in my 88 Ford? Labrador hanging out the passenger door. Do you remember that beat down basement couch? I'd sing you my love songs and you tell me about how your mama ran off in the pond during the rain. I remember everything. Cold shoulder, closing time. You were begging me to stay until the sun rose. Ooh, strange words come on out a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke. Pictures and passing time. Oh God, it's Chris Hansen. I'm sure you know each other from other groups. I know you guys. You guys are making the rounds, man. I didn't know locals existed until recently, so it was pretty disappointing to see pretty much all of my regular viewers were high schoolers. That like high schoolers are just losers that like go into the locale chats to cope. Like, yeah, it's funny. But for 12 hours a day all summer, these guys are just scrolling YouTube, talking shit about people, looking for a rise out of the person on the other end of the camera. Maybe if you did it like once a month, you like fucked with Robbie, it would be kind of funny. But after like 3 days of it, I was like, these guys really think that they're better than that person, but they spend more time on the internet than that person does. I don't think that homelessness has any judge of merit on a person's life. But I do think that, and I do think that there's something righteous about trying to create content every day. But they're the people trying to profit off the locals. I heard there's a bitter place in hell for them. Hawaiian mosquitoes are my songs. Like mosquitoes on a mountainside, we always the gift of flight, hunting for the love of someone else. Like mosquitoes on a mountainside, we always the gift of flight, hunting for the love of someone else. I can't see well, I can't breathe, I don't sleep well without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You miss me, I bug you, you love it, you need me. They said I would be a millionaire and live my whole life in the air, profit off the children's hearts and minds. But when they sat me in the room, my heroes sang a different tune, and all we saw was evil in their eyes. So you can keep your pretty lies, tears that look like crocodiles, sell it to somebody else. But maybe soon I'll see you and do what you did to me, love you, leave you, let you rot in hell. We used to be on fire, now we're all just liars, hiding from the truth about ourselves. Like mosquitoes by a riverside, if you want fun, it's dinner time, unless you use a chemical to help. I think it's pretty good. I just don't have the first verse. I thought I'd be alive by now, and I would save the world somehow, and you'd come back and save, and you, I thought I'd be alive by now, and I could save the world somehow, and you'd come back and see my name in lights. But life is short, and what I found is everything just fizzles out, and all you love only gets old and dies. But I won't come back and tell you that all my options fell through, so you can say you saw it right. You'd welcome me with open arms, love me and then break my heart, leave me there and run off with my life. We used to be on fire, now we're all just liars, hiding from the truth about ourselves. Like mosquitoes on a mountainside, we all waste the gift of flight, hunting for the love of someone else. I can't see well, I can't breathe, I don't sleep well without you here with me. They said I would be a millionaire, live my whole life in the air, profit off the children's hearts and minds. When they sat me in the room, my heroes sang a different tune, and all we saw was evil in their eyes. So you can keep your pretty lies, yours will look like crocodiles, sell it to somebody else. But maybe soon I'll see you and do what you did to me, love you, leave you, let you rot in hell. We used to be on fire, now we're all just liars, hiding from the truth about ourselves. Like mosquitoes in the riverside, if you want fun it's dinner time, unless you use a chemical to help. I can't see well, I can't breathe, I don't sleep well without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You missed me, I bug you, you love it, you need me. I thought I would be the king by now and save the world. It's funny how I wound up in the woods all by myself. The friends I fought to save only care about reputation, now they're screaming in the sickest show and tell. It turns out they all suck, and now I'm happy that you're stuck. Where were you when I was crying out for help? You wrote me off as nothing, but now that I get money, suddenly you care about my mental health. We were fearless, running wild, singing songs around the fire. Now you're living in whatever lie that helps. Like mosquitoes in the cities, we need blood and it ain't pretty, chasing a light that kills ourselves. I can't see well, I can't breathe, I don't sleep well without you here with me. I love you, I hate you, I miss you. You missed me, I bug you, you're annoying, can I kiss you? Fly away again. Don't tell me after everything I've been through, the hells that I've been sent to, that I should just give up and get a life. The world put me through so much that I can barely function. It takes everything to just get up and try. Fuck it, I'll wear that blue collar, waste my life for dollars, maybe find love when I'm 45. Sit there in a shitty house, listen to you bitch about all the things you're too afraid to try. Maybe then I'll feel a spark, finally open my heart up, take off in the woods again. I don't know what that animal is. I've never heard that animal in my life. I've never heard that shit in my life. I have no idea what that is. It sounds like it's just going, hey, 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 out in the woods. I should have put this here. Where'd everybody go? My face is melting. I need rest. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Flip, 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 flip. What was that? What the fuck 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 was that? I hear you. It's a bear. It's a bear cub and a bear mom. I'm out. I ain't doing it tonight. No way. No way, because I have too much trash and I'm too far out in the woods. I don't think a mama bear is going to be afraid of me. I ain't going to lie. What was that? Light out in the woods. Probably the reflection of something's eyes. I'm gone, bitch. Oh, fuck you. I don't know what I just saw. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. It didn't even look like a gray. It just looked like a shape. Like a badly formed human shape. Made of darkness. That was the weirdest thing I've seen in my life. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Not today. I ain't doing that shit today, man. It's probably 3 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning. And I got a message on Messenger for what? Nobody talks to me. A fucking spider? Now you're dead. Alright, I'm going to bed. Good night.